I have several. I should preface my comments with the fact that I actually represented the university and the advisory board the Army Corps set up for almost 6 years. And I guess I would be curious to know your sources of information in terms of what you're classifying as not thoroughly sharing and where your sources happen to be if, in fact, you weren't able to get the answers from the university. Whom were your major sources? And I have a couple of follow-up questions after that.
Well, after looking at the website, I did some work with Charlie Bernpohl, and he was he gave me a lot of information as well. Not just his study that he did with the Northwest Current, but also he was writing a book recently before he passed away, and I was doing some research assistance with him. I actually I went outside and looked around at some of the locations and where there's current remediation going on. Other sources are I went to the archives and did some research of my own, independent research. Additionally, I did go onto the Army Corps website, DDOE, EPA, all of those locations, and I did find that there were links to health studies that have been done, but they weren't like on the first main page. Aside from that, there are a lot of other studies that have been done on arsenic-related exposure, such as the Dartmouth study recently that shows that exposure to arsenic could be connected to changes in our DNA.
Thank you.
So that sources such as those are not available.
So you actually didn't go to the actual source, the Army Corps,
I did.
and actually talk to someone from the Army Corps? Or you did?
Oh yeah, I have lots of contact with the Army Corps. I've been to the last 4 RAB meetings. I talked to their project manager as well.
Yes. Just out of curiosity, is there a rule on campus that Army Corps cannot speak on campus? I'm confused about why you didn't hold it on the main campus.
I'll tell you what happened was back in February I approached the Army Corps Public Affairs specialist about coming to a panel to talk on campus and as part of my research project. And she was eager and excited and interested in it. And I got a response from her a couple of weeks later that she showed me an email, actually, saying that, and she showed me and the email was from one of the people in the administration here asking Mr. David Taylor if this is an event that should be encouraged or discouraged. And then basically saying that we can only come and speak at a public event if AU allows it, or if AU is inviting us. And that was what I got from her. And then I spoke with the community liaison, Penny Pagano, about having a panel. And her response 2 weeks later was that it's something that AU is not interested in, and also that information is available. So a panel on the subject would not produce any new information.
I just wanted to comment that David Taylor is quoted in the famous Washington Post article from January 6th, 1992, when they discovered the munitions at 52nd Court. He's quoted as saying, "It's an isolated find. I'm sure they'll finish this and then it will all be over and everything will be fine." That was 18 years ago, 19 years, and they're still looking. And he's still the assistant to the president.
Just if you could step back and what did you learn from this project in terms of it? I mean, you obviously had some snags along the way. Setting up this panel seems to have been a bit of a challenge. I mean, what can you tell us about, I don't know, searching for information or freedom of intellectual thought on campus? Do you have any sort of reflections on that?
Well, sure. As you know, I'm also doing a journal for this, where I write down a lot of my thoughts. I am in SIS, and I'm a peace and conflict resolution major. And I think after doing this project, I've realized that the reason that I and peace and conflict resolution majors because I want to learn more about how to deal with conflict. Because it's frightening to me, and in this project I've been trying to help and bring parties together. But this is a long issue, and there have been a lot of preconceptions that have come with them whenever I talk with people. In regards to free speech on the university, I think this is a great event that is allowing me to talk and discuss the event, and I applaud AU for allowing it. But in regards to the panel, I'm a little disappointed that I couldn't bring a panel on campus. You know, that was just disappointing.
Who did you envision to have on the panel?
Sure. I invited a lot of different people from different areas. I have right now next week a representative from Johns Hopkins who was part of the scoping study in 2007. EPA Steve Hirsch, Spring Valley resident, and Nan Wells, an A&T commissioner, and also Dr. Hersey in the AU chemistry department. I was trying to get Dr. Gerard, who was actually a liaison in the past, but he's working at State Department now. I've also invited DDOE and Army Corps. I haven't heard back from them though.
So is it taking place?
Yeah, it's taking place next week, and I actually have some brochures if you would like to save the date.